got this cup on the expo in Ham. I've mentioned it a couple of times. It's an amazing place. It's an amazing event to be at. So I can only condone that you should go. We bought 2 of these cups. One of them I broke, but I still have this one. So next time I go, I need to buy a new one. What I wanted to talk to you guys about is this selfishness that people have when it comes to their animals. I know that it's not a nice feeling when you have an animal and you've done everything that you think is right for it, and then people, they come and they look at it and they're all like, no, that's all wrong, you're doing everything wrong, and you're a horrible person, and you're not caring for your animal, everything is wrong. When you're taking care of a reptile such as a snake, there are certain things that needs to be done. They need the proper heating, they need the proper hiding place, and they need the water and the humidity. Everything needs to be correct. You don't have to be a complete perfectionistic when it comes about this. People keep their animals in a very different ways, but there are a few things that you need to have in order to make it a proper standard of living for them. I'm an admin on a reptile group on Facebook, and then this one woman, she is writing us, she has problems with a ball python not eating. It's a small male, he's not very old, and he suddenly stopped eating. This woman, she's very good, and she writes everything: the temperature, the humidity, how old the snake is, how often she used to feed him, how big the tub is, basically everything that you needed to know in order to be able to help her. It turns out that this woman is, first of all, she is moving the ball python from the terrarium to a feeding box in order to feed it. Sometimes it works. I don't do that. I don't put them in a feeding box. I just feed them in the terrarium because that makes them less stressed. Every second day, she would take out the ball python and then put him in a hot bath. Why are you bathing your ball python? And she replied saying, because he's having a good time. And no matter how people try to tell her, no matter how nice people were, in general, my experience with reptile people are that they really want to help you. They really do, and they are nice. And I condone that. I think if you want a reptile, and people come ask me all the time, how are you keeping your reptiles? How do you do this? How do you do that? My snake won't eat. All that kind of question. I get them all the time. And I try to be as nice as I can, and people are listening to me. But if you're not listening, why are you asking in the first place? This woman, no matter what people told her, they were very nice to her. They said, it's gonna stress your ball python, just leave him alone for a couple of days. They're solitary animals. Ball pythons don't need to bathe unless they had a bad shed and they couldn't get it all off. It's a good idea to soak them just to get the shed off, but they don't need that. It's not in the nature of the ball python to bathe like that. Leave him alone for a couple of days, and then I'm sure you will see him eating, because he's probably just a little bit stressed. And the woman, she wouldn't listen at all. She was just like, it's not true what you're saying. I know what I'm doing. I'm very experienced. My ball python likes when I bathe him. And you kind of become a little bit mean, and then you're like, if you're so experienced, then why isn't he eating? I know that it can be scary to ask people for advice when you're keeping your animal, because I know that you want to do the very best thing for them, and if you ask them, is this right, and people are very quick to say, no, that's not right, you need to do it this way. So I know it can be scary, but you cannot allow yourself to be selfish when it comes to your animal. You're the only one it has. It's your job to take care of it. If the animal gets sick, if it gets stressed, if anything happens to it, it's your job. You're the one who bought it. It's in your home. It's family. You have to take care of it. Even if that means that you have to go ask for advice from people, and you might get, not the best response from them, but you need to do it because that's your job. As I said before, in general, people are nice when you come asking questions. It's only if you don't do it, or if you try to say, no, I know better, then don't ask for advice. If the only thing that you're gonna say to people is, I know already what's best for my animal, then don't do it. What really needs to happen in the reptile community, I think, is that everyone needs to be a bit more open. Everybody needs to help each other, especially help the ones who are new, and everybody needs to stop being selfish. Stop thinking that it's a personal attack on you when people try to tell you what is best for your animal. I know everybody keeps their snakes in different ways. Some do it in racks, and some do it in big terrariums. Some do it in tubs. I don't care how you keep them, as long as they're healthy and as long as you provide them with what they need. If they're eating, if they're shedding, if they're pooping as they should, and don't show any dysfunctional, if they're in general happy and healthy, that's how you're gonna keep your animal. It's up to you how you want to keep your snake. Do you like the tub best? Do you like the terrarium? Do you prefer racks? There are different opinions about everything, and you should do it the way that you like, as long as the animal is healthy. And if you're gonna ask for advice, do it openly. Take everything in, listen to everybody, and then sort out the things that you're gonna use and the things that you're not gonna use. You don't have to do everything they say. But if your animal is not eating, if your animal is sick, do something about it. I put up this picture of Noel on Instagram, and I honestly thought that it was just a minor infection. I didn't think anything was wrong with him. And then a friend of mine, she goes like, I think there's something wrong with your animal. I have a friend who is a vet. I could ask him, is that okay with you? And if I have been a selfish one, I would have said, no, I know what's best for my animal. No, don't do that. I don't need any help. I'm the perfect reptile keeper in the world. And you know what would have happened? Noel would have been dead. It turns out that the infection he had was really serious. And I caught it time enough, and he's recovering, he's doing very well. If I had chosen to ignore that, then he would have died. And that's the result. If you ignore people trying to help you how to take care of your animals, they might end up dead. So it's your job as a caretaker to take care of your animal, make sure that everything is right, and listen to people. Give advice yourself. If something is working for you, talk to people about it. There is no stupid questions, only stupid answers. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take you on a little tour here so you can see how I keep some of my animals. Alright, so the one I'm gonna show you is Pearl. This is her terrarium. It's a bit big for her, you know, she's a small girl, but she will grow into it. So I'm keeping it kind of minimalistic. And I've done that because we've been so unlucky that we got mites, blood mites, and they are the spawn of hell. So before that I used to make it really natural and make it look really nice. But right now they are on paper, just regular newspaper, and it is widely accepted as one of the best substrates to use. Especially people who have a lot of snakes tend to use these newspapers because they're easy to clean and they're easy to obtain, don't cost much. It comes every week in your mail, at least here it does. So what I've done is that she has a lightning ball up here. She can't get to it, but we really need some, I have already bought it, but we haven't put it up yet. Something to make sure that she can't reach the light, but she can't do it as it is right now. And over here we have the warm area where she has a hide. She's down here. She actually just shed. So she is looking stunning. Let's see if I can, there we are, look at her. Looking very good. She's an eclipse boa, and she's one of my absolute favorites. So this was the warm area, and over here we have the cold one with the necessities. We have the water, and we have the hide in the cold end, and then we have this really ugly plant. So yeah, but that's the minimal that you need for a terrarium, at least what I think. It's working pretty well. I mean, Pearl, she's eating a lot all the time. And she just shed. Let me see if I can find that for you. She actually did that last night. Hang on. Here it is. As you can see, one nice long shed belongs to this girl. So that's really good. And of course the water needs to be changed as often as possible. I tend to do it every other day unless they poop in it. Then of course I clean it right away. So this was Pearl. This is one way to do it. It works out very well. She's been very healthy. As you can see, the shed is in one long piece, and she's eating and seems to be thriving. This is Marble, and she has a bit smaller cage. This is an Exoterra. I love Exoterras, by the way. It's a good one if you're thinking about buying a terrarium, you should definitely go for them. So she has, here you can see the lamp with protection on it, and this is the hot area. Let's see, the camera's a bit big, so I'm trying to get the best picture I can. She's in here. There she is. Pretty Marble. See if we can get a closer look. There she is. Now Marble is a ghost boa. She's about the same age as Pearl, although she doesn't eat that aggressively. So she's a little bit smaller. She did shed a couple of days ago as well. It seems like everybody is shedding at the same time. We have a green tree boa who is also in the middle of shed right now. Anyway, she's gorgeous. Alright, so this is the warm area where she is. And over here we have the water ball. It's quite a big one. That's the only one I had at the time. And again, we have a hide in the cold area. And as you can see here as well, newspapers. They wipe perfectly. The snake don't seem to mind it at all, actually. They don't get dirty as they do from some kinds of substrates. And it's easy to change. So, let's put on her. I can see she looks like she wants to be left alone, so I'm gonna do that. So yeah, that's how I keep my animals, and they seem to be thriving and they seem to be healthy. I often ask for advice, I really do. I ask them, would you do it like this, would you do it like that? And then they would say yes, or they would say no, and I would ask them why. Find someone you think snakes looks healthy, find someone on Instagram or find someone on Facebook, and then write them a personal message asking, I'm having some trouble, would you please help me? And I can almost guarantee you that they're gonna ask you nicely, as long as you keep an open mind. But remember, your snake is your #1 priority. Your ego comes second. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. You can also follow me on Instagram under the name jossersjungle, and as usual, write me if you have any questions. Thank you and bye bye!